Hey everybody, how are y'all doing today? I know it's been a while, right? Oh, it's been a while. But I was called to take some time out for me, do some cleansing, and y'all know all that good stuff. I've already shuffled them beforehand. But let's go ahead and get started. All right, Father, Mother, God, I thank you for everything that you have done, that you are doing, that you will do, that you are doing, and that you continue to do. Guide us and send my spiritual team and the collective spiritual team of the light and the light only as we reveal the messages that you deliver and as we bind, reveal, rebuke, and destroy all negative and demonic energies, entities, energies, and auras in all dimensions and all realms and all realities from all aspects of life for the past, present, and the future. Amen and Ashe. All right, let's get an overall energy read. What's going on with the collective? I missed y'all. I really did. I was like, nah, today I gotta get this out. Divine animals. Pay attention to nature. Know that you are being guided. These divine animals are also your spiritual totems and as well as part of your spiritual tribe and your spiritual family. They are there to guide, lead, protect you, reveal, give you revelations, help heal, and gain further awareness and consciousness of who it is that you are, where it is that you're going, of your life path, your mission, your calling, your purpose. Remember, you have Archangel Raziel around you. If you're unfamiliar with Archangel Raziel, definitely look him up. Ooh, and it's 22. And this is going to help bring a more stable foundation into your life as well with these spirit animals and animal totems. And 22 is a master ascendant number. That's a master ascendant number right there. Can't go wrong with no master ascendant number. Know that everything that is happening, everything that has happened is all for divine alignment, for who it is that you are. And we reveal who it is that we are on a day-to-day basis. In every experience and every interaction and every revelation and every realization. And the messages of clarity and understanding, we reveal more and more and more about our truth and who it is that we are and what we're here to do. Oh yeah, release that throat chakra. Release that throat chakra. Okay, that's like 10 cards, but Temperance is there in reverse. So yeah, when you're going through changes, you're going to feel imbalanced. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Page of Coins in reverse. Okay, the Five of Coins in reverse. Okay, so things have become stagnant and they're not moving. You weren't going for little itty-bitty offers. You weren't going for pages. You know your worth, you know your value, you know what is in alignment for you. You've gotten that discernment in your life where you have started speaking up. So they're trying to block my throat chakra. Where you have speaking up and you're not going to take, the little pennies and the little scraps and the little change. You have the wheel reverse. The wheel in reverse. Page of Coins in reverse. Five Coins in reverse. The Six of Cups upright. And the Queen of Wands in reverse. The Chariot. At the bottom of the deck. Yeah, by not taking these small offers, the things that you know that aren't worth your time. Back in the day when you were still maturing into your spirituality, into your calling, to your gifts, into who it is that you are, into divine alignment, you every opportunity was an opportunity. And yeah, there's stages along your spiritual growth, where you don't want to miss out on a blessing that God has given you. So yeah, you learn to kind of dive into the opportunities, and then develop that discernment by going through those experiences. But now you're at the point where you have developed that discernment, so you could tell off bat whether something's for you or something that's not for you. The sun came out. So by doing that, you know where it is that you're going, you know what is worth it, and you're balanced emotionally. Coming out of this 5 of coins, because it in reverse, so you're not feeling that lack, you're not feeling that what's it, FOMO, that fear of missing out. You're very balanced emotionally. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay, first, what's the Six of Cups? The Six of Cups. The Temperance in reverse came out too, with the Queen of Cups upright. So there is an energy, this Queen of Wands, there's this energy around you that was trying to get you to move in a way that is not in alignment for you. And as well, I'm picking up this two dynamics. So there's one where there's an external energy and one where there's an internal energy. You know how to maintain and know what your passions are and what you need to move on. And being the Queen of Wands is very passionate, very driven, very motivated. You know where to put that motivation adequately, because the Queen of Cups came out underneath it. So with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, you have the Sun card. The Sun is upright. So even though things may not seem like they're moving forward, they are, because change is the only thing constant. They are moving forward, and it's leading you to this awakening, this realization, this illumination, and standing in your power and in your truth. After that, we have the Ace of Coins in reverse, and then the Knight of Coins. So even though the Page of Coins is above this Ace of Coins in reverse, it wasn't going to lead you anywhere. And you knew it wasn't going to lead you anywhere, especially in the material world. So this has to do with something that was actually, an actual experience or a situation. It could also be financial as well. But you knew whatever was taking place, it wasn't going to lead you to the Ace of Coins. And you knew that. You used your discernment. You didn't have to dive further into that experience, or not at all. You were able to see, like, yeah, no. And you have the Knight of Coins. No, you kept on driving. You moved passionately forward to what it is that you're going for. That was like 6 cards. You have the Temperance in reverse with the Queen of Cups. So even though your dreams are still manifesting and you're going through like a rebirth and a transformation with this 6 of Cups upright and with Temperance reverse, you're going through, this is giving you those realizations, those revelations, those things that are being uncovered. And yeah, it's going to cause a certain point where you're not really going to have balance, because you're trying to see, okay, what is really going on? But remember, the first card came out was Divine Animals, and it was 22. 22 equals 4, a stable foundation. So even though you may go through spouts, because I feel like it's more so spouts of being imbalanced, it's there for a reason, because once you get unbalanced, you know what's going to be able to keep you up, to keep you stabilized. And you have the Queen of Cups right after that. So emotionally, you're definitely on the right path. The Fool in reverse with the Sun card. All right. Ooh. Oh, well, these are nice. This is a beautiful energy, y'all. This is a beautiful energy. Oh, yeah. And then at the bottom of the deck, so we have the Fool in reverse under the Sun card and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, you're not taking reckless chances, because you have the 8 of Wands. You're not just listening to anyone. You're not just following anyone. You know the things that you know for a reason, regardless of, how it might be coming off, how people may be feeling. You're still very balanced. You have the 8. You know you have infinite possibilities, and you're not just going to take a leap of faith into something that you know is not for you, because you have the Sun card and the Wheel of Fortune. You're taking that time to actually be stagnant and kind of enjoy that in stagnant and this imbalance that's here, because you know. So it's like everything that's coming out, this is more so, I feel like, a confirmation reading, because you already know. Because even though Temperance is in reverse, you have the Queen of Cups upright. And the Queen of Cups upright, she's in her emotions. You know, she knows how to manage and navigate, especially the emotional world. Especially the emotional world. Especially, you know, water, how to manifest and how to cleanse, how to heal, how to rejuvenate, how to give birth. And you're not just going to take a leap of faith just because, oh, it's there. No, you're able to see whether this is going to be something that's long-term, this is something that's not, this is just like an offer that's going to, you know, fizzle out. You're able to see that and read that energy very clearly. And you have the Knight of Cups, the Palace of Coins, and the Palace of Swords. Yeah, you know exactly where it is that you're going. You're grounded emotionally. You know where your passion, where your motivation, where that lies. You know how to go about and get it, how to do it. And you're getting the insight and the messages about, you know, just taking any and every opportunity. And having this discernment through these experiences is going to lead you to the Palace of Coins and the Palace of Swords. The Palace of Swords is, you know, mentally. So, and you have the Queen of Cups. So you're able to take what it is that you're nurturing, that you want to give to, that you want to give birth to, and you're able to go through those experiences to be able to heal, cleanse, you know, replenish, rejuvenate, you know, when to give your energy, when to pull back that energy, you know, when to cut things out, how your emotions doesn't affect your mind state doesn't affect your emotions. You know, even if one of them is off kilter, the other one's able to bring it back. This is beautiful. And you're moving full throttle. You know that you are protected. You know that you are guided. You know it. You're just as unique as the seahorse. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna flip the around so y'all can see the entire spread. Look at that. That is beautiful. So you know, like, whatever comes your way, whether internally or externally, you know where it is that you're going. You know what it is that you're meant to do. Now, yeah, we don't have every detail of everything, but you know enough. You definitely know enough. All right, let's see what negative energies are around. Are they internally, externally, or are they just hanging about, watching, waiting? You know, they be watching and waiting. Thinking they gonna get somebody in K and just be watching and waiting. You know, sometimes you got an audience. Let's see what demonic energies has been around this. And I got my red marker back. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so there's a few of them. There's quite a bit of them. Watching and waiting. Oh yeah, especially when you're going through something like this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Check out what happens on the 22nd of this month. The astrology insights will be back up. The astrology news will be back up this week on Wednesdays. Once again, I apologize. I wasn't trying to let anybody down, but as y'all see, if you know, just being on the other side, we have stuff too. You giving readings, we got stuff too. And I didn't want to bring y'all none of that gookiness. I care about y'all. No, I don't want to bring y'all none of that gookiness that was trying to follow me. And so I'm guided to tell y'all about it because I know I eventually will be, but you know, testimonies come out when they come out. So you have the 8 of Cups. This demonic energy, Vepar. guide of waters, can make storms and rough seas, causes men to die in 3 days of putrid wounds. They came out the last time I did a reading. Look, yeah, we definitely gonna go ahead. Oh, this one has a pencil mark. Let's go ahead and cross them on off. With the Eight of Cups, you had something that was really trying to affect your emotions. But you the Queen of Cups. You are the Queen of Cups with that Temperance in reverse. So this situation was really trying to, instead of being nurturing and healing and caring, it was trying to use your emotional state, how you manifest, to be able to get the same karma that they got, or have that same energy to be able to want to hurt people and feel so betrayed. But you like, no. Because at this point, it's like you gotten used to a certain level of betrayal. You know what's going to happen. You know, not everybody is upright. Not everybody is honest. People have their own agendas. And yeah, they may start off that way, but people change. Things happen. You know, they might not be on the same spiritual level or path that you're on, and it's just not going to be understood. And you know, everything happens for a reason. But you know how to battle that. So for you, it's like, okay. So you have Temperance, and look at that, Temperance in reverse came out. Rochelle teaches geometry and liberal sciences, makes great noise, and warms water. Yeah, they was trying to get your emotions to boil over to the point where you would lose control. But the thing about that is you had the Queen of Wands in reverse, because she could be extremely manipulative, controlling, and passionate and driven in the wrong direction. You know, if you really, really let it get out of control. And with the Page of Coins, the Wheel in reverse, you know, you knew what you were going into. You knew, got insights, followed your discernment. You knew you was going to be good. So then you have Moloch, the devil. Of course. So you literally had the devil out here trying to get you. He was like, look, I can't just send the minions. Makes one worse off than ever before. Tricks mortals into being bound. Accepts child sacrifice. Wants you to sacrifice some things. Wants you to sacrifice stuff that, you need. The things that... And they really tried to attack the material. But you already know you're going to be good. Like, you literally know. Like, that's what literally came out in the reading. Regardless of what may be happening externally, is, just like they say, you walk by faith, not by sight. Live in the world, but not of it. So material things, opportunities that are little pages trying to trick you into get you wasting your energy into something that is not for you to waste it on. No. It's not working. It's not working. And it's like just a calm energy. Like, yeah, no. Like, it's not upsetting you. It's not bothering you in any type of way. You have the Five of Swords. Builds high towers, castles, and cities. Afflicts men for many days with wounds full of rot and maggots. They really wanted you to sacrifice your path, your calling, your mission, your purpose. And they first tried to attack you through the material things. That wasn't working. Then through abundance. That wasn't working. Then through your emotions. Then, like, they try to... The earth, air, fire, and water, they try to hit you in every which way, and it just was not working. It did not turn you into a horrible person where then they could go, see? No. Tricks are for kids. No, you're not there. The Page of Coins is in reverse. Like, no, you've already had those experiences. You're not naive to that. Now you have Judgment. Distributes promotions and high offices, causes one to be liked. Yeah, they try to tempt you with maybe something that was going to be worth your while in a title or things like that. But look, let me tell you something about that. Like, I be telling people, like, Like, I just had a conversation earlier today, and it was like, you weren't afraid to say what you said? I'm like, no. And the person, replied, yeah, but do you know who I am? I did this, and my title is this. Boo-boo, a title is a title. What's your title supposed to mean? That's your pay. That's your paycheck. That's how the world views you. I live in this world, but I'm not of it. So yeah, my title that I have in the spiritual realm outweighs that. The titles we have in the spiritual realm, the titles that God gives us, outweighs anything that the world can give us. So what? And then look, the last demon to come out is the world, Vapula. Makes one skilled in labor and crafts, increases knowledge of philosophy and science. Yeah, really tried to tempt you with something that was going to be like, oh, but you'll get this, you'll have this type of recognition, you'll have this, you'll be seen like that, you'll be seen like that. But just at the bottom of the deck was this. Look, you're not tired no more because you're not fighting things that's not for you to fight. That's the 9 of Wands. You're not fighting stuff that's not for you to fight. You're not. Because why? For what? For what? Like, I don't even need to use the other cards to clarify anything. All right, so the angel cards that came out. We have the King of Wands, Daniel, God the Merciful. Eloquence gives answers to those in doubt, and that's what was going on. You were getting your answers. You were getting, the insights and the things that you needed to know, so that you would not be in doubt. And even if you were like, okay, what is really going on? You just might want to know, like, okay, I feel it in my spirit. I see something ain't right, but let me know exactly what it is, because it's this and this and this and all of this, and you got your answers. And God, the merciful judge. And didn't judgment come out? Look at that. So then the next angel card, you have the Queen of Wands. So you have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Mind you, the Queen of Wands came out in reverse. These angel cards came out upright. See? Look, confirmations. Love it, love it, love it. The hidden God, divine power, guards against mental troubles. The 5 of Pentacles. Then we have the 5 of coins in reverse. Akaya. Y'all, I'm working on your names. I really, really am. Elamaya. Right. Akaya? That angel. The forbearing God. Patience, reveals secrets of nature, spreads knowledge and industry. See, everything that they were trying to use, like, that you doing something, I don't need it to come to me like that. It's going to come to me like this. That, I don't know what that is. That might be fine and dandy for you, but that ain't for me. That ain't for me. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You know how you get your knowledge, your information, the way that, someone's either trying to guide you or lead you or give you this opportunity to get this status and title in the world. And you're like, nah, my soul's worth way more, way more than that. Forget the world. Because it can't nothing in the world buy my soul. Absolutely not. The 10 of Wands, Naniel, God humiliating the proud. Spiritual communication influences religious men, teachers, and men of law. Yeah, and it was like, and the individual or the situation, they might have felt like, oh, well, they wasted their time, or they felt humiliated, but also, being a spiritualist, you might have went through that, as well, where it's like, no, I've already learned, where to use my energy and get into situations that ain't none of my business. No, you're going to be humble because you're going to learn how to utilize your gifts, how to utilize your talents, your abilities. It's a learning process. We all here to learn. And so, everybody gets humbled every now and then. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's being able to take, okay, yeah, you know what? You learn the lesson and gain the wisdom, and you keep on moving forward. And then there's situations where you're going to be placed in situations where you're there to be that extension in human form of, hey, I don't do that. Your pride is getting to you. They thought they had, the world and could do this and do that. And I could give this to you. And they use the energy like, oh, you really not taking it. No, I'm good. Because I know where I get it from, and where you getting it from ain't the same place I be getting it from, and I'm good on that one. So you have Michael, the chariot. We had the chariot, who is like God, preserves, perseverance, success in conflict, overcoming adversity, and that was right under judgment. Mm-mm. That was right under this judgment. Distributes promotions and high offices, causes one to be like, you was like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead, then I guess I'm just gonna be unliked for a while, but you know what, I'm good with that. Eyes of Cups, AL. You know who it is that you want to be liked by, and that's your spirit team. That's the Father, Mother, God. You know, that's the angels. You know that it, and your tribe is going to be there. You know, but no, you ain't got to be liked by everybody, and that's just, I mean, that's just how the world is. Eight of Cups, God the pleasure, God the God the please God the pleasure of man's children. Okay. Transformation gives consolation in adversity. They really wanted you because we all have, and what it says, the devil wanted to sacrifice childhood. They wanted to sacrifice your naivety. They wanted to sacrifice you because that jovial spirit that you have, that ability to be able to transform and be rebirth and come anew. Yeah, it's a childlike energy, but you're far from naive. You know, there are children that are born that are far from naive. Like I was one of them, you know. My aunties and my great uncles, and you know, I sat up under the elders. They're like, no, leave my baby alone. She could be in here. You got an old soul. You know, heard that my whole entire life. I got an old soul. Cause yeah, this is not the first rodeo. And look who wants to come out in the biblical cards. There's two more. There was one more. All right. So, in the biblical cards, we have the devil. The devil came out. Satan. Satan tempting humans to sin. See? All it was a ploy. It was a temptation. It was a temptation, and you passed it. You passed it with flying colors. With flying colors. Now you know you good. You're like, You ain't even got to go through the fight and be tired and get healed. You could just bypass right by it. Like, yeah, nope. Bypass right by that. You have the chariot, Pharaoh's pursuit. You got to split it in waters and let you cross right on there. And if Pharaoh wants to follow you, just know that the water is going to fall on top of Pharaoh. It's going to fall right on top of Pharaoh. All that water and the putrefied, because we had two demonic cards that came out talking about water and things like that. While you being cleansed, that water is going to devour them. You have the lovers, Adam and Eve. Oh, okay. And then you'll be able to go right back to the beginning, Genesis, and reform and rebuild, because the whole book is about the world coming into humans and the world meeting together. The creation of everything. It's the beginning of where we start knowing time. Because, time don't exist in the spiritual realm. So you have the seven of chalices, the temptation of Christ. All this I will give you, he said, if you bow down and worship me. So yeah, they really thought that you were back in this slave thing. They really thought you was going to listen to, the negative snakes. Because, we have spirit animals that are snakes that are positive. But there's some, there's a dichotomy. For every good, there's something bad. And thought like, hey, eat this apple. You looking at the apple like, that apple got a smell. And there's probably worms crawling on in the apple. I'm good. I go get my own apple. I go to the store and buy my own apple. I don't need a bite from your tree of knowledge. I got God's tree of knowledge. I'm Gucci. I'm good over here. I'm really trying to tempt, like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, and I'll give you this, and I'll give you that. Nah, I'm good. So then next you have the Six of Chalices. So you have the 7 and the 6 of Chalices. When Jesus saw this, he was, this is why I like King James Version, he was indignant. He said to them, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these." Mark 10:14. Oh, the 7 of Chalices, the temptation of Christ, is Matthew 4:9. And look at that. So we have, we talked about Genesis, and then you have Matthew. Literally, the Old Testament and the New Testament. Your experiences, the things that you went through in your past, because you got to know where it is that you came from to know where it is that you're going. Because those things are going to come back and pop right back up, just in a different way. How are you going to move this time around? What are you going to do this time around? So being able to have that knowledge of things that happened in the past, you're able to move forward in the in your new testimony. It came out testimony instead of testament. In your new testimony. And live jovial and have that youthfulness and that naivety with Father, Mother, God, with your spirit team, with your ancestors, with your people. You're not with everybody, because people take advantage of that. And you ain't got time. And you can see it right through it clearly. So the divination cards that came out: angelic assistance, divine guidance, love, and support. You are protected. You are in balance. And when you're not in balance, they will redirect you and put you right back in balance. A rebirth and transformation with protection. Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Michael right here. And Archangel Michael even came out. You have a card, and that was card 6, card 22. Again, and that's in the middle, right aligned with divine animals, which is 22. Telepathy, transmission, perception, communication. Yeah, you're able to see through all that. You're getting communication from your spirit guides. This ain't nothing but confirmations. Then you have, and that's 22, 4, stable foundations, 10, completions, rebirths, start all over again. We didn't talk about the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Genesis to literally Revelations, like the circle of eternal joy, timelessness, dance of life. And the stable foundation is going to lead you into those new beginnings that's going to allow those consistent changes to keep going, but in a beautiful positive way. Those changes that are growing you and who it is that you are, where it is that you're going, your gifts, skills, talents, and abilities getting stronger, getting utilized more and in different ways. And you're just enjoying the natural flow of life, the natural flow of things. You're not forcing anything. You know what's for you. You're using discernment. You know where to put your energy. You know how to use your energy, when to give, when to pull back. Like, this is a beautiful ass reading right here. Beautiful. All right, y'all. Until next time, peace.